Hey y'all, it's James. I figured I'd give an update on how our first rehearsal went and try and do a more upbeat video than my last one. Sorry for that, but so I made a little short and I mentioned the chaos that occurred trying to get to rehearsal, so I'm gonna ignore all that. But go watch the short if you want details. But it boils down to I was fronting and I was kind of stuck fronting for rehearsal, which is fine. I can handle rehearsal. Autumn and I can both handle rehearsal is what we've decided. Obviously, if someone else fronts, then somebody else is handling it. But she and I are both completely acceptable people to show up. I can mimic voices really well. I can mimic her voice really well. I can do her singing really well. So, as long as we both learn the lines and I learn to say them and sing them like Autumn does, then there's no big deal me being there. But, so like I said, I was somewhat front stuck, which wasn't the end of the world. We're going through, introducing the artistic team, talking about some things that need to be done before the show. Apparently they've had issues in the past with people ordering the wrong size t-shirts, so they went over that and were like, make sure you order adults. You're all adults. Didn't say it, but gave the vibe of stop ordering kid size, which I thought was hilarious. Which, I mean, yeah, we won't fit in a kid's medium, but we'll unfortunately definitely fit in a kid's extra large, so I debated going and changing ours to kids just for spite, but I decided not to. So after all those announcements and all that, before we got into rehearsing the our first song that we started was the finale song, but the first song for rehearsal, they did a go around and introduce yourselves. So it wasn't like the usual, you say your name and something about you. No, it was like, hey, wander around the room, go and talk to 3 people you've never met before. Yay, I'm fronting. So we have our friend who was there who knows the system. First person, I made a beeline to her. I was like, hi, it's me. This is gonna be fine. And because she had started to say, oh, I know you, we don't need to talk. And she was like, wait, I barely know you, but we still know each other, so it doesn't matter. So I never went up to anybody because panic and terror and disgust, but a couple guys, I'm so glad, like the first 3 or 4 people to approach me were all guys, which made me feel more at ease. But a couple people came up and introduced themselves, and I was just like, hey, yeah, it's James. We have DID, dissociative identity disorder, so we go by a couple different names, usually either Autumn or James. Just a little one-sentence explanation. It's not a great explanation, but it explains why we were in a blouse and a dress and a necklace and going by James, and why James isn't on any kind of cast list or paperwork or anything. It was really awkward because some of Autumn's friends would come up and hug me and just be like, hey, Autumn, and I was just like, gonna go talk to someone. But, so now 8 or so cast members know us as James. And everyone else knows us as Autumn. And neither of us are gonna bother, if I get called Autumn, if it's not somebody that I want to get to know or somebody who's expressed interest in knowing the differences, I'm not gonna correct them. In Autumn's, also, if we get addressed as James, she's just gonna roll with the flow. There was this one girl who, she was great. I had some fun talking with her, actually. But she was like, well, what if I just call you AJ? Autumn, James. And I was like, there's more of us than that, but you know what? It's funny enough, go for it. And she's like, I wouldn't actually do that, but I'm bad at names, so that's probably all I'll remember. So, we might end up being called AJ by at least one person. Which, not a great nickname for us, because like I said, doesn't include the majority of the system. But, yeah, it went surprisingly well. We did the songs. I went and talked to the music director before we started our rehearsal. I was like, hey, we can sing just about anything from tenor to soprano, and we can hit quite a bit of bass. We have a wide range. We have a wide-ass range. And she was like, well, we're going to put you on altos because they're so hard to get good altos. And I mentioned that, and if you want to put us as a soprano in this song, or an alto in this song, or wherever you need us, we're flexible. So we'll see how that goes. It was interesting. I've never focused on the singing before. I'm not better at it than Autumn. I'm a mimic. That's why I can mimic her so well. It's why I can mimic. So if the person next to me has their notes, I can mimic them, and it's fine. I can learn pretty quickly, and I don't have a really good ear for music, but I'm not like Autumn. She has an auditory processing disorder, and she actually can't tell the difference between, notes. You know that thing where they do the scales, and it's ah, and then it's ah, and it goes from lower to higher to higher to higher. She can't tell the difference. She can tell that it goes ooh, but she can't tell that it keeps going up until she gets to the end and she's like, wait, this seems weird. They were 5 or 6 parts for like the end note of the finale, which we went over today. And when it was all in unison, everyone was singing it sounded gorgeous, and I loved it. But I know that to Autumn it would have just been noise, which no big deal. That's she enjoys lyrics, I enjoy music. But rehearsal went somewhat well. I hung out not for very long, but I talked with a couple people, including girl I met. I am gonna call her Amelia. I'm gonna write that down so that I remember that this actual person equals Amelia, just so that I can not have to bounce around everyone's names. And if I forget these, bear with me. We're trying. But we're getting our script Thursday, so that's gonna be nice. We're getting our headshots done Thursday. The 3 of us who forgot. Because it wasn't just us, which was great. But yeah, I'm home. I'm taking a bit of a rest. I kicked off my shoes, put on one of my shirts, and took off the skirt and put on shorts, because I like looking like me. And the hair actually looks like me. Like, it's a bit long, but it's not dirty, but it's got that little bit of oily look that I think just suits me, if that makes sense, and those waves. I feel more like myself than I have in a while. I wish the glasses weren't blue and that you couldn't see the blue eyes, but also friend gave me a bunch of Miller Lights to take home. These suck. I didn't think they'd be as bad as they are. I usually drink Modelo's, which aren't the best, but we recently found some kind of seasonal special from Mardi Gras beignet beer, which sounds horrible, but was the best thing ever. But we've only got one of those left, and I'm making it last. I'm waiting for a special night. So I'm drinking the... It's interesting. I'm planning on, maybe doing some gaming. Thinking about recording the gaming and posting occasionally some kind of, weekly, we've gamed kind of thing. Some of my friends are in our Discord chat, so I might go join them after. I'm kind of just chilling. I just ate. Got no special plans other than at some point in the next few days listening to the Singin In the Music soundtrack, because we've never heard any of it before, so that put us at a bit of a disadvantage, but it's not bad. But yeah, I know Autumn wasn't fronting, but she was aware, so I'll probably see if she can record later, and I'll merge the videos together. But yeah, we survived. And that's cause for celebration.
Hey, it's Autumn. It's 2 in the morning, so I'm tired, but sleep isn't happening, and James asked me to record, so here we go. Talking a little quiet because my husband's asleep, but rehearsal went well. I wasn't present. That's not accurate. I was present for the entirety of rehearsal. I just wasn't able to front or control the body, but I was able to see and experience and remember everything in real time. Not like I accessed James' memories afterwards. I was present, just not fronting, which isn't usually a distinction we have to make. But, it went well. James got freaked out when they did a little meet and greet. I got freaked out when he had to do a little meet and greet. But, I'm really excited for the show. I had decided not to do the musical altogether for a period, and then I saw who the artistic team was, who the directors were, and I was like, well, darn, now I've got to redecide all over again, because it's a group of people I really trust. And we got to hear the director's vision for the show, and it's a Christian community theater, so even in a secular show, there's always a message of something biblical. And he was talking about how even though it's a love story, that's not the whole emphasis of the show. He talks about how it emphasizes the kind of love in the Bible. Love is patient, love is kind. Specifically and especially in the relationship between the two best friends, the two guys. It shows them as kids growing up to adults, and how in a somewhat classist environment, they still manage to be friends even though they're on very different levels. But the main points of his talk were, the goal of the show in his mind is to show authenticity and integrity. And that he doesn't want it to be two-faced. He doesn't want it to be, most of the set changes and all the things are going to be done without blackouts, where everyone can see, because it's very much supposed to strip away the illusion of what you want people to see and just show what's really happening. He said something essentially along the lines of, don't put on a mask and be someone else and hide who you really are. And to hear that going into this show, being open and honest about who we are and what we're like. It was kind of like, it was really encouraging to hear. Like I know he wasn't talking to us, he was talking to the cast, but it felt so personal. And I'm really excited. James got the chance to just like say hi, but didn't get a chance to have a conversation with him. But I'm really excited to have conversations with him and his family, and because his two of his sons and his wife are also in the show, the one that he's directing. So, and they're a family that I just really trust. I'm excited and I'm hopeful that they can be a really safe spot. James is really excited to get to know their oldest son. So I'm hoping that that's a friendship that they can actually have. I know that James wants more people. So, but all in all, it was a good night. There was one little bitty moment where I like wound up like fully fronting for a second. I was like, no. I haven't been paying enough attention to the music to be fronting right now. And was able to switch back out with James. But the last like show or two we were in, I don't think they had it. But when I was in the youth theater production, they always got their musical tracks from a specific, I don't know, company. I don't know the terms and everything for what I'm trying to say. But at intervals during the rehearsal tracks, this robotic female voice would just go, rehearsal track. And that happened. They were using the same company this time. And I was like, oh, stand at attention. Like, I remember this. And James was like, no. You can't sing this part. You haven't been paying attention. So we were able to switch back out really quickly. But it was a weird, fun little story. But it's exciting. I'm looking forward to going to the next rehearsal. I'm happy. It went well. It went better than I was expecting, especially considering that I wasn't fronting for it. But it's our new normal, and I'm glad that that's happening. Well, I was gonna say that I'm gonna try and go back to sleep, but oh. Hey, it's Leah, and I can't make the hair do what I want, so I usually keep a hat here, but we forgot it. So I'm just gonna look like James tonight. Hi. Haven't fronted in a bit, especially not on camera. But I'm here now, so why the hell is she recording at 2:03 in the morning? Half the reason I haven't been fronting is because the body's been on a weird schedule where it goes to bed at like 3 in the morning and sleeps until noon, and I'm a morning person, so it hasn't been working. God, the hair's driving me nuts. Wish I had a brush in here, but it's not worth. Yeah, the husband will be asleep in there, so it's not worth going in there. Sorry, I wasn't expecting what I got thrown into. But yeah, it's the middle of the night. Wonderful. If I'm pulling on the right strings, I'm thinking this video is supposed to be about how we feel about theater and rehearsals and all that, which I don't have much opinion on because I have no interest whatsoever in it. Not planning on fronting for it, not planning on participating. That's going to be James's and Autumn's thing. If I'm front stuck at any point there, then I'll figure it out, but no interest really in singing. No interest in, I don't know, I just don't have any interest in any of it, so I can appreciate a good musical, like going and seeing one. That's fun, that's interesting for me, but singing and dancing and acting, it's just not my thing, which is interesting because Olivia, one of the alters I fused from, was the dancer for our old performances, which is causing the system a bit of stress trying to figure out who's best suited to handle that. But, so yeah, rehearsals, great. I'm glad they're doing something. I wish it weren't screwing with the sleep schedule so much because Vi doesn't get home until like 10 sometimes. Or it won't get home until 10. I can already, first week, but I can already see what's happening. but I'm gonna stick with the YouTube or with something in front of a computer. That's more my line of work. So, good for them, not interested. But I'm gonna go ahead and close this out and see if I can make the body go to get some sleep, because this is ridiculous. Bye.